Hey everyone, it's Axe here, and this medal is from winning 5th place at EVO 2014. I played some of the best Melee I've ever played in my life there. I got really far in the winner's bracket, up to 9th place, and then had to fight Mango. I was really close to beating him, but couldn't quite pull it off. But in the loser's bracket, I still made top 8, and had to play against Silent Wolf. It was one heck of a set. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, it's ridiculous. After that I had to play against Armada, and I did really well versus him too. I never thought that I'd be able to do it, but just playing him that set made me realize it's possible. Like, Armada's not indestructible, and neither is any of the top 5. I know that they're beatable, and I think I can do it one day.
Were you scared?
No.
No?
No.
Not scared?
Just little.
Just a little?
Yes.
Wow. Who were you scared more of, Mr. R or DeBuzz?
Mr. R.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Mr. R is, in my personal opinion, is the one of the 5 best players in the world, and I respect Mr. R.
Wow, that's good to hear, man. That's a lot of respect that you have for Mr. R.
Yes.
Where would you put yourself?
In 5.
Top 5?
Yes.
In the world?
5 or 3.
Top 3. All right, you heard it here. MK Leo considers himself top 5 or 3 in the world. Okay.
He says he wants to beat all the Japanese players.
He wants to beat all the Japanese players.
He wants to play against all the Japanese players, and he wants a revenge against Zero.
He wants revenge against Zero and to play all the Japanese players.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to try really hard to make this happen. I think one day we'll get you to America.
Yes.
And we'll make you play.
I hope so.
We hope for Big House 6.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Or Genesis 4.
Genesis 4? Okay.
Yes.
If we can't get Big House 6, Genesis 4. But we're going to shoot for Big House 6. We're somehow going to get you to America, man. I'm gonna hide you in my shirt. We're going to figure this out, man. Free Leo.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did phenomenal versus Leffen, man. But one of those games, he kind of looked like he had you, man. What did you do? What did you do to adjust? I know you're laughing, you're like, half me, really? No, but what did you do to adjust in that game?
I just start narrating, I guess.
No, are you being serious? You being serious?
Yeah.
I
I was just like, okay, I mean, he's pretty good, but I know I'm better.
Yes, yes.
This is my game, so I guess I'm just gonna win.
And how confident are you feeling as this bracket develops? You think you got a good shot, depending on how everyone else is playing today, or how are you feeling, I guess, in terms of your performance, everyone else's performance, and how the bracket is shaping?
I always feel confident.
I guess it's easy to be confident when you're viewed as #1 players of the world. I wouldn't know that feeling at all. Well, I'm never going to know it either, as long as this guy's playing anyway.
For this tournament, I heard a lot of people talk about PPMD, talk about Mango in terms of their favorites to win. What do you think about your chances of getting a trophy here in Anaheim?
I didn't came to MLG to play second or worse. I came for first.
I think that's all I need to hear.
A lot of people had been commenting about your lack of success as of late in Melee. Did that get to you coming into this tournament at all?
Yeah, like people were saying like, oh, Axe or Wastrove is better, and people like, Leffen hasn't won anything since then, he can't win, he's really consistent, but he can't win. And like, a lot of people try to act as if like, those comments don't exist, or like, I don't care what other people think, but the way I try to do it, because I don't think I'm like that kind of divine being that can just hear what people are saying and not mind, I try to like use it as fuel and just like take all this negative energy and like try to be like, okay, I'm gonna prove these guys wrong. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I know this is a lot of pressure, but everyone's dealing with that pressure. It's all about like, it's like sprinting, right? Like everyone's legs is burning, but it's about who can win against themselves just even a little bit more. And yeah, I'm just really happy.
one of the most important things to practice that you have to do it all the time. You can't just stop practicing. Like, let's say you practice 1 week, that's not enough. You need to practice all the time as much as you can, because that's how you actually get good. Like, no joke. Like, here's the thing. People meme about this all the time. Just practice, you'll be better. But a lot of people that I see that they want to prove, they want to be better, they want to do all these things, they have all these aspirations, they don't actually put the time in to be better. They don't actually put enough time. For example, one time I remember meeting this person that he was very frustrated because he wasn't winning his local tournaments anymore. And I asked him, are you practicing? And he's like, yeah, I'll play like maybe once or twice a week or something. And then I'm like, who are you losing to? Well, I'm losing against this guy who, like, you know, he has no life. Like, he, like, all he does is like play every day. And in my head I'm like, okay, so you're upset that you're losing to someone that puts in 10 times more time than you do playing this, and you're upset that this person is beating you? Like, he should be beating you. He's putting in 10 times more effort than you are, so of course he's beating you, right? It's logical. That's the point that I want to make it to you guys, that is very clear. Time and effort are very important things with this. There's no top player, none of them got to the level where they are by putting no effort or no time. They all put in ridiculous amounts of times in their own different ways and their own different capabilities to get good. Okay, so that's not gonna come to you in a civil player. It's not gonna come to you naturally. Yes, some players were good naturally, or they were a little better than, you know, the average because of natural ability. But you don't see the godlike stuff they do because of, you know, nothing. They put in a lot of time. So
it's a pretty hard game. Anyone who's ever played it will tell you that it's actually a very, very difficult game. And if you want to get good at it, you kind of have to sell your soul, like, in terms of, like, putting in the time. Like, you have to think Melee when you wake up. And then when you're not thinking, you got to be playing. There's no online or anything, so it's just grinding. Like, you have to go to your friend's house constantly. Like, it actually becomes like a lifestyle when you get in Melee. So my tip is just, you know, stay motivated. It takes time to get better. If you don't see results right away, it's okay. Like, it takes a long time to get better. So just don't be discouraged. Just keep trucking along.
I would force myself to out-cancel 50 times in a row without missing it. And then it would be, you know, Dash Dancer or whatever it was. And it was a lot of just training and getting better. And I had a notebook where I made notes and I would watch videos. It was very serious for me, and it was a very conscious, specific, directed effort at becoming better. Partner. Kevin is also a douchebag, which is important to the story, because when you're playing Kevin, he won't let you stop playing until he wins. I mean, he will not. Okay, we can be about to go to a party or a movie or to sleep, it doesn't matter. We don't stop playing until Kevin realizes why he's losing. And so if Kevin and I are playing Marth Peach, March Peach, I want to play Sheik for a little while. Nope. Let's go catch that movie, we're gonna miss it. Nope. Sit down and keep playing till I win, okay? Because he wants to get better. He's got that drive in him. And he's a jerk. It's a combination of the both. It's a fantastic combination. He's very stubborn, though.
So how much do you say you practice a week? Because people highlight your execution as one of the most consistent things about you. And it sounds like from the way you were talking about it, like you do play a good amount. It's just the getting on stream is potentially losing practice time that could help you at tournaments.
It's at least an hour of solo practice a day. Sometimes more, because what I'll do is I'll just like listen to music or whatever, like a new album I've never heard, and I can just do that for a long time because I just really like listening to music. But yeah, the way I get better is just through like constantly grinding. Like, I'm actually like a pretty field-based player instead of like actually like thinking things through like super analytically, like Junebug, right? But yeah, I just need to play a lot.
So why did you get better than literally everyone, like anyone else? No one has got good as fast as you have since like the gods, honestly. It really is. You are a standout player in that regard.
I think I have put a crazy amount of time into Melee. So like, for perspective, I started 4 years ago, but I haven't taken I don't think I've even taken like a week break. Like, I've played pretty much every day. So if you think about that, that's a lot of Melee.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think there's any shortcut to it. It's just the amount of time you put in.
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels good.
That is 1,461 days in 4 years with a leap year included. Yeah. So
that's a lot of time. Yeah.
So for all the people watching who are looking up to you now, as you are the king of this game currently, for all the people maybe struggling not against Joker, but any matchup at very, very low level, what advice do you have to give? What's the most important thing a low-level player can learn from you?
I actually don't know, because I mean, every time I play with like a low player, I always say that they just make a lot of mistakes. They don't understand how the game works. Actually, in this game, if you lose neutral once, you're gonna die. Like, probably depends on the person. Like, kinda like Melee. So I just feel like they just don't understand. They haven't find anything. They just like obviously playing the games like really hard, so they just like need to put more time on the game, I guess.
So it's all about just time and grinding it out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like this game is like whoever puts more time in the game is gonna win. That's what I usually do. It's like Melee, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I mean, whoever
any fighting game.
yeah,
right?
whoever plays more is gonna be like the best player, obviously. And I've been playing like Ashley a lot of time.
I've seen you playing non-stop.
Smash, man, but trust me, history wasn't made like that overnight. You practice and practice and practice. Any words of advice for young players like yourself who are coming up in the community who are looking to put their stamp on the game like you?
Like me, in case you really want to be the best player, in case you don't want to be the best player, you just want to enjoy Smash, you just want to be really good, don't stop going to tournaments, try to play with the people, try to grind, try to like get better. Some people are just like, okay, I'm good, I have the talent, I'm just not gonna practice. I'm just good because like I'm good. The thing that you need to do is the more you play, the better you're gonna get. That's how Ultimate works. That's why you just need to keep going to tournaments, then you will get better. In case you really want to do it, save some money, go to the tournaments, go to the majors, try to play with the top players, and like try to do your best in the bracket.
I mean, and at the end of the day, all you can really do is try your best. I mean, that's spoken from the best player in the business here, ladies and gentlemen.
He's just a brick wall. It's just, if you're coming at him and you're not doing it 100% right, you're going to die or take a lot of damage. So it's like optimal, right, I guess. And, well, there's like, I feel like there's the Swedish optimal and then the American optimal.
Okay, ooh, that's one way of looking at it.
I feel like their optimal is more optimal, right? Does that make sense?
Let's hear this.
I think in esports in general, the Europeans and stuff, they have a better work ethic and better at training. Like, they'll grind and grind, and like him, he'll do the same punish a quadrillion times in a row if he has to. If it's the best thing, he's gonna do it down to a science, you know? And like the way you practice, you kill a fox, right? Like when you're warming up, you just peach combos a fox.
What do you think? Yeah. I kind of agree with what both PPMD and Mago said. My punish game is more science-based because most of the time in punish game, I feel like you can't do anything, like except for the last part of the combo, and that's a mix-up if I do a weak move or a strong move. So if you DI out and I do a strong move, you're most likely dead. And if you DI in and I do a weak move, the combo extends. But except for that, I feel like the rest of the punish game is pretty much science. And if I do the right option,
punish game is like, it's just math. It's just
it is math, dude.
2 + 2, do this here, equals dead. It's just Armada's. That's how you combo.
It's also being used to the flow. Like just from doing something over and over, you just know what comes next or like what could happen. But yeah, overall, I would say I'm kind of the wall, and then when I touch you, you're gonna die. Oof.
Back. Talk to me about your training regimen, man. What have you been doing to prepare for EVO, man?
Well, I've been just practicing. I had people from Tri-State come over to my house, like, not every day, but almost every day.
The
and
strongest region in the world,
yeah, of course. You know, we got all the PR players, or like 10 or like close to 20 people from Tri-State in the PGR for a reason. But yeah, a lot of them have come over to play. And it helped me because like I might run into like a Zach Ray or something in my projected bracket. Right. And I had some Wolves come over. We got some really good Wolves, and they also play against Palutena. That's the Palutena region. So like even if I like get bodied by them sometimes, like I know that it's because they know the matchup better than other people. So or like maybe than like Zach Ray and stuff. Even though Zach Ray is probably the best Wolf and stuff, like you know they still know so much that it makes me want to play better. And then like Zach Ray probably wouldn't be ready or punish some of the things that they're able to punish and stuff. So it was like good preparation and stuff. I also watched some videos too because there's some characters that I didn't get to really fight, like Link and stuff, and I may have to fight against T. But overall, you know, just a lot of practice, like many hours a day. Talk to my brother about some things, and yeah, you know, just go from there.
All right. So the first tip: play a lot of games, as in play a lot of matches. As often as you can, get that experience in. There's a lot of people who go to these type of videos that just kind of look for a shortcut. Maybe they don't want to put the work in, they want to make this fancy goal, they want to make these plans, I'm going to become the best, I'm going to write in my Twitter bio, up and coming player. But like when it really comes down to it, everyone that gets good has put in a lot of matches. And fourth is go to tournaments, go to locals, get involved with your local scene. A matchup, there's a lot of things just to straight up learn from going to tournaments. Not to mention getting, you know, used to the environment, used to how they run, how a double elimination bracket works, how pool works, how counter picks, how stage picks work. All that you need to actually go to tournaments, you need to talk to people. So my third tip is watch game footage. this is kind of after you started playing a lot. I think just watching when you don't even know what you're watching can actually be kind of like misleading sometimes. Sometimes you build up this image in your head, but I still recommend watching it just because it's fun. But once you got into a comfortable spot where you kind of know some about the games, you know how the game works, I think it's really important to watch a lot of game footage. See what other people are doing better than you, watch your own matches after you lose, after you win. What did I do wrong? What did I do right? Because no one's gonna make you a good player, right? Like, you're gonna have to learn by yourself. You're gonna have to look at your matches, try to find out, is this hitting? Is this working because I'm good? Is this working because they're bad? Is it because of this matchup? Is it because of the stage? There's a lot of variables, and it can be really daunting to find out in the beginning. But the more you watch, the more you actually actively try to think about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and why your opponent's doing what he's doing, it's gonna become a lot more clear over time, and with just a lot more time put in.
2014 was a really, I guess, pivotal year for me because it was like my lowest performance in general the whole year, apart from Evo. I wasn't doing well in nationals. I was getting fifth, and then MLG I lost to Axe, and Big House I lost to Leffen and Lucky, and it was just, it was tough. Like, those are unpredictable losses, and I was wondering, like, what is the reason I'm losing so much? And it was before Evo, I was in an internship in Arizona, and I was playing every day constantly because I like play all the players there. There was a guy named Max, and he played Young Link, so I figured I'll just play as Young Link every single day with Falco and Fox. And little did I know, it wouldn't help me at all. But it turns out it wasn't necessarily playing the character matchups, but actually just staying warm and keeping like my tech skill up in the game, and keeping like my mentality in the game. That really helped me perform well at Evo. And I was playing probably the best I ever had in my life until Paragon. And so then Big House happened, and the week before Big House, I was like, I'm not going to practice because I have school, I have other priorities, but I'll do fine. I sort of went in, too confident, being like, I can do this at Jigglypuff. But that really taught me, A, you have to put in the work if you want to get good results. So now I'm practicing a lot more often. I have like sort of a practice schedule now, but even still, my priority is always school, so it's really hard to maintain everything. And B, I was a really superstitious person for a while, and I would think certain things are making me lose or not play well, like if I'm standing or sitting, or if I don't have a certain tagline, or if I don't have a certain port. And right after Big House, when I tossed like all that shit out the window, and I realized it's not about like different preferences or priority. It's literally you reap what you sow, and like the work you put in is going to get what like you put out. And so I started doing that a lot more. And right after Big House, I challenged myself. I went to a random tournament in Pittsburgh. When I was random, it was pretty big, but I could have easily not gone. It would have been a big deal. But I wanted to challenge myself, so I went to Fight Pit where Cobalt was going, and I wanted to play Cobalt on a big stage and prove to myself that I can do it. And we had a really close winner set, and then I had a really good set for me in Grand. But it was still really close, but that was like what I needed. I needed that like boost up. And then since Big House, I haven't lost a single set in tournament up till today, which I still haven't lost. I don't think in doubles or in singles. So I want to continue that streak, and I think that streak happened because I truly told myself how to approach tournaments and how to play this game efficiently. And the only way to learn that is by making mistakes and losing. So I'm glad I lost at Big House and not at something like Evo or Apex, because I'm ready to bring everything I got to the plate now.
Second place after second place after second place. And at some point, losing to the same guy for so long, it's just, I'm not the type of person that gives up, but it got to a point after losing like 4 times in a row, I'm just like, am I doing something wrong? Is my character bad? Do I need to pick up another character? What's failing here? Am I not practicing enough? Am I not studying enough? Am I not good enough anymore? What's the issue? And it took me months and months and months of losing to Anti, Ally, The Buzz, Mr. R, who I never lost to before, and a bunch of players, that it's just been like, it got to a point where it just got into my head. I didn't think I had it in me anymore. I didn't think I was good anymore. I thought I dropped off so far off the map, that I wasn't relevant anymore. And then I just started practicing my ass off. I just practice every day, 5 hours, 8 hours, put in that time. I shook up all the feelings and thoughts that I wasn't good enough. It wasn't a matter that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't trying hard enough. That's what I made it out to be. I needed to try hard. I needed to push myself harder. Everyone else caught up and got to a level where I wasn't at. I needed to get past them. I needed to beat them in the race to improve. And I did that. I practiced 5 to 8 hours a day, studied matchups, studied players, improved my Diddycon, revised the entire gameplay of Diddycon. Shia helped me out a lot in that process. So did Pierce, my current coach. And, I just worked my ass off really every day. For a long time, Smash was pretty much the only thing I saw during the day. And it was worth it. The wins started coming back.
So you get to SmashCon, you send him to the losers bracket, he fights through, you meet him in grand finals. Take me through that grand final, because it was certainly, as a fan, and there were a lot of people cheering for you there, it was agonizing in the sense that he was able to overcome and go on this miraculous run after resetting the bracket. Take us through your emotions in that grand final.
Grand finals meant a lot to me. If you was watching, I lost game 1. I won game 2 and 3, and he was watching game 4 was a heartbreaker because I was up 3 stocks to his 1, and I just needed one more game to win, and he just brought it back. And after that, I kind of collapsed mentally, physically. I was out of it, and he just swept me for the rest of the matches. And I never had such a painful loss like that because I never got so close to winning such a big event. And it was an eye-opener of that I can do it. Like, I can win these events, that I can potentially be the #1 player.
From that moment to this tournament here is a couple weeks. How did you prepare?
I actually went to Mexico last week, and Mexico with MK Leo. And there we played a ton of friendlies. So that actually helped me get used to his play style a little more, and because me and Leo don't play friendlies much. So after playing
So you went to Mexico, told him, I'm coming to Mexico, I want to play you a bunch at this game.
Oh, no. We both went to Mexico because we both got invited to an event.
Okay.
But then I just went over to his house after, and that's where we played. Okay. And it was good practice because getting practice from the best player in the world, who would decline that? So that.
Did he invite you or did you ask?
He invited me.
Oh, really? Okay.
He did beat me in the $50 hero diddle though.
Okay.
But we played, and I was like, okay, I need to take notes. Even though, you know, it's just friendlies, you can learn a lot from friendlies.
Sure. So now here we are, Shine 2019. Much of the same, you sent him to the losers bracket again. In that moment, did you feel your confidence rise? Like, what were you thinking when, for the second time in 2 tournaments, you were able to win a set against MK Leo?
I was thinking this is not over. I've been in the same exact position literally 2 weeks ago where I sent him losers and he came back from losers and beat me. Losers Leo is a totally different demon from winners Leo. His punches become faster, he becomes more patient, he's just become overall a smarter player because that, you know, will to win is even harder for him. And I was like, okay, as long as I don't get nervous this time, stick to my game plan, you know, stay calm, I know I could do it.
With Armada, he just won EVO. How are you feeling, if you can even describe it?
I don't think I can. 2 years ago, I was retired from this game. I came the last minute anyway. Last year, I really tried to win, heartbreaking 3rd place, and I've been working very hard since that day to win today. So it's a full year of dedication that finally paid off. In the end, I guess I made it.
Yes, you did. You know, you talked about how you were retired, and then when you came back, you know, you wanted to be on top of the game, obviously, but for a while you weren't. How hard was it for you to go from being at the #1 to maybe not quite there and trying to get back to it? You know, you see so many champions in other sports that don't quite recover from that.
Well, the thing is, it's hard. Like, when I retired, I was undoubtedly the best in the world. I won 3-4 majors in a row. And when I came back, it was hard. Like, at first, people were better than me for sure. But even when I was back in full shape, I still couldn't win. And it kind of frustrated me. Like, I had a positive score against all players in the world, except for PP this year at Apex because we only played once. Now I guess we're tied. So it was a bit frustrating, you know? Like, I seem to be able to beat them the most, but not when it mattered the most. So it has been like a mental struggle a little bit, but I've always known if I did it once, I can do it again. And today I proved for the world that I actually could.
Losing is like my biggest motivation. It's like, well, you know, when you lose and it's just and then you check your Twitter and it's and then you go home, my mom calls me and like makes fun of me, and then it's like, oh, it's just like everywhere I go, it's like I can't escape it. So like my motivation's like, I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to go through all that again. So for me, it's just pretty much losing is my biggest motivation so that it doesn't happen again.
Hi, this is Jacob Wolf for the ESPN Esports, and I am joined by Zane, the Genesis 7 Super Smash Bros. Melee champion. take that in for a second. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. I've been thinking about this day for a long, long time. Last year was a lot of heartbreak, a lot of Game 5s lost, but I finally closed it out.
Coming into that grand final set against Hungrybox, you had beaten him once earlier and sent him to losers. You even beat him again, but before Genesis, your record against him was 4-17. You've done it at a major before in Shine, but nothing as prestigious as Genesis. How does this differ from beating him before, and what does this mean?
The scale is just so much different, honestly. Just the prestige associated with Genesis. To be able to take that home is just a dream come true. That 4-17 record super hurt, but I've always known that that's one of my best matchups, and it was just a matter of maintaining composure. Like that last game, I was nervous, but I was keeping it cool, and it paid off.
I don't think anybody would argue, given sort of your ascendancy the past 2.5 years, would argue your skill. You're one of the most talented players in the world. You have struggled at times to sort of keep it composed to go on to win tournaments. What was different about today than previous tournaments where you've come close before?
Honestly, just a lot of mental preparation. Like, I've practiced the game a lot, my tech skill, studying matchups, but being very conscious about my mentality and keeping it cool, like adjusting my breathing, focusing on my heart rate. Those were like key aspects to this grand finals win. So I think that this will be a big step forward to many more victories.
Again, everybody knows that you're one of the best players from a technical perspective. What do you have to do in 2020 to maintain consistency and make this a more reoccurring theme for you throughout the year?
Recapture and remember how I felt in this top 8. It was very like flow state, honestly. I wasn't thinking too hard or stressing too hard. Just remembering that feeling and carrying it to every other tournament. I feel like I've always been good with my preparation and practice. Just keep that up. And I think I can take a lot more this year.